Hello and welcome to United Report. This is your home for all the latest Manchester United news, match updates, transfer stories, and in-depth analysis. Stay connected and never miss a moment. Subscribe now to stay ahead with everything happening at Old Trafford. Today, we're tackling the growing storm around Manchester United's number one Andre Onana. Just 2 seasons in and already at a crossroads, the Cameroonian keeper is now heavily linked with a shock move to Saudi Arabia, just as whispers grow louder about a £100 million offer for captain Bruno Fernandes. Onana was brought in to replace De Gea, but has he lived up to the role? With costly mistakes, dropped games, and now interest from Neom SC, United could be ready to move on and even eyeing a familiar face in Torino's Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. Stick around as we unpack what's fact, what's fiction, and what this could mean for Erik Ten Hag's rebuild. This is the United Report, and it's about to get real. Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana is another player in the squad who could head to Saudi Arabia this summer amid talk of a lucrative switch for captain Bruno Fernandes. But whilst the Portugal playmaker has been a leading light, Onana continues to underwhelm at Old Trafford. He's just concluded his second season with the club, but has continued to make errors, leading directly to goals. He was signed as David de Gea's replacement, but the jury is out as to whether the club made the right move. Reports have claimed Onana is in advanced talks with newly promoted Saudi Pro League side Neom SC, and that United would be open to his sale. The Cameroon goalkeeper was left out of United's matchday squad to face Aston Villa in their final day win over Aston Villa. Onana was replaced in goal by Altay Bayindir, with Ruben Amorim having to come out and defend his goalkeeper. In April, following a poor showing in Lyon, Onana was dropped for the loss at Newcastle before returning. The goalkeeper's current deal runs until 2028, and a source said Andre's plan is to stay in Manchester, and he wants to knuckle down and get United back to where they should be. His sole focus is on United and nothing else. He's a confident person and wants to prove the doubters wrong. He knows he has made mistakes, but he sees proving people wrong as a challenge. That hasn't stopped reports swirling, and it is understood that the Manchester outfit are considering a move for Torino keeper Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. The 28-year-old started his pro career at Old Trafford before leaving due to work permit problems. The Serbian has played a major role for Torino, keeping 10 clean sheets in Serie A, to put a number of clubs on alert. United are set for a major overhaul, and their turnover of players could be aided by the potential sale of Fernandes, who could leave for Saudi in a deal worth £100 million. Al Hilal want the Portuguese star, who is weighing up the offer, even though Amorim is desperate to keep him. He said, "I just have that feeling." When you talk to someone, you have that feeling if he wants to stay. Of course, in a lot of games this season, he was so frustrated, but he knows what we are doing. The feeling that I have, every time I speak to him, is he wants to continue for sure at Manchester United. But you never know. Rio Ferdinand has told Manchester United star Marcus Rashford that new £62.5 million signing Matheus Cunha will take the number 10 shirt at Old Trafford. Cunha, 26, has officially left Wolves and joined the Red Devils on a 5-year contract until June 2030, which includes the option to extend his stay by a further 12 months. United announced the forward's arrival on Sunday afternoon, having been spotted staying at the Lowry Hotel in Manchester with his family. Cunha will now link up with his international teammates in Brazil before returning to England for pre-season training following a brief holiday. By then, Rashford could have left boyhood club United. The 27-year-old is up for sale after spending the second half of this season on loan at Aston Villa. There's been no indication that Villa will trigger their option to buy Rashford for £40 million, the price which United are demanding from other suitors. Barcelona have held talks with his agent and brother, Dwayne Maynard, but the newly crowned La Liga champions would prefer a loan deal. It's been reported that regardless of Rashford's future, Cunha will take his number 10 shirt. The United Academy product has worn the number since 2018, but according to Ferdinand's information, it now belongs to Cunha, after he wore the same number for Wolves and former club Hertha Berlin. Reacting to Cunha's lucrative arrival, Ferdinand told his TikTok followers, "One of the few players I mentioned a few weeks ago, if I had a shopping list, he would be on there. He knows the Premier League, so he doesn't need any adaptation time. This is a huge factor. I think if you're going to go and buy players from foreign leagues, players that don't have the experience in the Premier League, there is always a risk. He has the experience here. We've seen him here. He grew up a Man United fan. I'm hearing he's taking the number 10 shirt, which was Rashford's shirt. What does that mean for Marcus Rashford? I don't know. There are a lot of questions that will be asked about that as well. 17 goals, 6 assists in 36 games for a Wolves team. I think it's impressive. I think the recruitment team for Manchester United would have seen, and the coaches here would have seen, what he did to Man United at Old Trafford. He was slicing through Man United like a hot knife through butter. When Manchester United signed Rasmus Hojlund for £72 million, the expectations were sky high, but a year on, the pressure is mounting and the goals have dried up. After a season to forget and a Europa League final defeat to Spurs, United fans are questioning what's next for their struggling striker. Former United midfielder Paul Ince has a clear answer. Don't sell, loan him out. Pointing to Scott McTominay's incredible turnaround at Napoli, where he became Serie A MVP, Ince warns Sir Jim Ratcliffe not to make the same mistake twice. Could a loan spell in Italy unlock Hojlund's full potential? Or is the pressure of Old Trafford too much for the 22-year-old to handle? Ince thinks there's a star in the making, but only if he's given the right environment to shine. In today's episode, we break down Ince's powerful comments, reflect on United's transfer strategy, and ask, are United killing their talent too soon? Former Manchester United midfielder Paul Ince has cautioned Sir Jim Ratcliffe about hastily selling Rasmus Hojlund, advising a loan spell might be more beneficial based on Scott McTominay's experience. The Red Devils had a dreadful season, finishing an abysmal 15th and succumbing to Tottenham Hotspur in the Europa League final. Meanwhile, McTominay flourished with Napoli and was named Serie A's most valuable player. For Antonio Conte's side, he has proven to be a bargain at £25 million. Against this backdrop, £72 million man Hojlund struggled this season and looked equally at sea under Erik ten Hag and Ruben Amorim. However, Ince is convinced there is a top striker in Hojlund waiting to be unleashed. The ex-Inter Milan man urged Ratcliffe to loan the 22-year-old, perhaps to another team in Serie A, so he can find his confidence and return to United as a more well-rounded and experienced forward. United lost out on the opportunity to do this with McTominay, as they sold him to the Serie A champions permanently. Speaking on behalf of Bet365, Ince told the Manchester Evening News he, Hojlund, is still a young lad. He's got a lot to learn. I'd like to see him go on loan somewhere, let him go find his feet, get a bit of confidence. It's a tough place at United with the expectations that are required from you. He might need someone to play next to him, maybe a senior centre forward, to take him under his wing. It looks like he is playing every game on his own. I know Xerxes has come from Bologna, but that has not really worked out in this moment of time. As a striker, you need someone to lean on and take the pressure off you, but he has not had that all season. It looks like it is affecting his game. There is a very good player in there, believe me, a very good player. Maybe a little loan spell, out in Italy, somewhere like that. Get some goals for a few months, get some confidence, and then come back in. United look like they are about to sign Matheus Cunha, who is a very good player, but even someone like Ollie Watkins would be a very good player. Maybe Hojlund could come back after that, work underneath, play a certain amount of games where the pressure would not be on him too much. At the minute, there is a lot of pressure. Despite arriving from Atalanta with a hefty £72 million price tag in the summer of 2023, Hojlund has struggled to live up to expectations at Old Trafford, managing just 4 Premier League goals this season amidst a challenging campaign. United were understood to be plotting a move for Liam Delap, but the Ipswich Town hitman looks to be on his way to Chelsea. Amorim has looked seemingly unimpressed by Hojlund's efforts. However, Ince points to McTominay's successful stint in Naples as an example of how a move could jumpstart his fortunes. He said, "It's funny because some players fit certain teams and environments." When you look at Scott McTominay, you think, how the hell did they let him go? Sometimes, it's the manager. What is going on at the club? You look at Antony, he's been great at Real Betis and played in a cup final. You look at these two players who could not perform the way they are performing now. Is it them? Is it the coach? Is it the environment, the pressures and expectations of playing for Manchester United? As a midfield player, I've always loved McTominay. I always thought he was one of the few who was actually trying to make things happen at Manchester United. But I'm so pleased he's managed to go there, because he will be a god there. I know what those fans are like, and Antony the same.